Plants are really very intelligent organisms. They acquire information from their environment and adjust to improve their situation. You are similar to a plant because you also respond to your environment. But there is more to you, not because you're quantitatively more intelligent than a plant, but because you are qualitatively conscious. You are created in God's image. Plants are intelligent organisms. They are not as smart as you, but they are brilliant compared to a rock. They receive information from the environment in several ways and respond accordingly. All of their intelligence protects them and produces optimal growth. Because plants are stationary, it is often thought that they do nothing but grow. However, they are really quite dynamic. They are constantly altering their structure, producing new chemicals to ward off predators, and moving to optimize the amount of sunlight they receive. Plants dynamically respond to their surroundings in many ways and do everything but walk away from their roots. You know that chlorophyll receives light and turns it into energy. But there are other light receptors in plants too, and their job is to control the plant to better receive light. Blue light receptors are molecules that receive information about the quality of light to direct the plant's movements and growth patterns. Several studies have shown that blue light receptors send signals to move the plant toward or away from light. You may have noticed many plants follow the sun throughout the day. The blue light receptors increase the amount of growth hormone on the dark side of the stem so that the gene expression of the protein ZMK1 is increased. The potassium channel protein increases on the dark side of the stem and the cells elongate slightly. When they do, the stem bends toward the light. If a hormone and a potassium channel sound a lot like terms that explains what happens in your body, they are. The proteins also affect the positioning of the chlorophyll within the plant based on levels of light. These movements optimize energy production. The size of the leaves is also affected by signals originating at the blue light receptors. Plants respond to more than light. They also respond to mechanical stimulation. There are fine hairs on the plant that tell it if the wind is blowing or an insect is eating their leaves. When an insect damages a leaf by eating it, a plant can respond in several ways. The plant may produce chemicals that make an unpleasant odor, chasing the bug away. Or it creates molecules that poison the insect. In a more bizarre mechanism, the plant manufactures scents that draw in predators of the offending bug. There is a family of chemicals that plants use within and between each other. They are synonymous with molecules in humans, referred to as hormones and pheromones. They affect flowering, photosynthesis, fruit production, plant and root growth, etc. Molecular receptors receive the signals and produce a complex series of reactions that eventually affect gene expression. This means that the types and amounts of proteins in the plant are altered. The plant takes on a new metabolic makeup to respond to its environment. Plants are much more dynamic than what scientists thought in the past, but despite their high level of intelligence, there is no indication that they feel anything like you do. They have amazing detection and response systems, but lack nerves to and from their extremities and a brain to process it all. Thus, the belief that a plant experiences pain or enjoys the sunshine is generally dismissed. On the other hand, you have nerves and a brain. Nerves send sensory signals to the brain, and the brain sends action signals back. The action signals can vary and be anything from muscle movement to instructions to an organ. Unlike plants, this gives you the ability to move away from danger quickly. It also allows you to hunt prey, build shelter, and travel to find a mate. A fruit fly also has a brain and nervous system. It does many of the same things that you do. It looks for food and it travels to find a mate too. Fruit flies function at a higher level than a plant, but how far is it removed from a plant? If a plant doesn't really feel pain, does a fruit fly? The fruit fly's brain is composed of only 250,000 neurons. This is about the same number as those that reside in your hand. When you miss a nail and hit your finger with the hammer, your finger hurts like crazy. But it is not the nerves in your hand that create the pain. It results from your brain processing the information sent from your hand. Perhaps a fruit fly is much like your hand. The number of neurons in its brain is about the same. Since your hand doesn't create the perception of pain, maybe a fruit fly brain doesn't either. But you may say it isn't the number of neurons, but their organization. A fruit fly's brain is something extra because the neurons are in proximity and have the ability to respond. The human spinal cord also has millions of neurons in proximity that respond. Some signals go to the spinal cord and are sent back without the brain being involved. For example, when the doctor pops your patella tendon just below your knee, the bottom part of your leg kicks forward. The decision to move your leg came from your spinal cord, not from your brain. This type of action is a reflex, which you don't control. Maybe a fruit fly's brain is more akin to your spinal cord. Its life is a series of reflexes. If that's the case, it just reacts to the environment. So what separates your brain from that of a fruit fly? Scientists don't know. They know that you are much more intelligent than a fruit fly. You can solve complex problems, make and use tools, do math, etc. But is that really what makes you, you? You are something special because you're conscious. You are more than a plant or a fruit fly. Intelligence and consciousness are two different things. The Bible creation account doesn't distinguish man from animals based on intelligence. The story says that God made Adam and Eve in his image. Most people think it is about humans being the peak of evolution and the most intelligent organism. However, God's image is not about the quantity of intelligence. It is about the quality of his spirit. He is a conscious person, and he made you one too. I look forward to your feedback. Please leave your comments and questions below or contact me at my email address. I'll see you in the next video. Remember, humility, thanks, and joy.